Thank you for lying to me, Benefit. There. Hi neighbors, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hippie Me. And today I'm really excited about this video because I mentioned a couple videos ago in my eyelashes video, which by the way, if you haven't watched it, I loved making that video. I think it was super fun. Was it embarrassing? Yeah. But was it also super fun and super funny? Also, yeah. So if you want to go watch me embarrass myself and have a good time laughing at me, go watch that video. Quality makeup content. Anyway, as I mentioned in that video, I have a lot of new makeup products that I've gotten recently that I just have not had a chance to really talk to you guys about. There are also some things in here that maybe I did a first impression of, but now I've used them over time and I want to give you a more thorough review. Some new releases, some things that are just new to me, and then there's also some things in here that are not actually makeup, but that are still cool that I want to show you. In general, it's stuff that I've been using since the beginning of 2021, and I want to tell you what is a favorite, what is a fail, and what is a, fine. So I'm going to start with some favorites and then move toward the fails. Favorite number one. These are not going to be ranked in any particular order of most favorite or most fail or whatever. They're just kind of categories. Favorite number one. This mirror that I got for $100. I've been looking for a mirror like this for a while that's just big and rectangular because for some reason a lot of times they're round or they're tiny or both. The one that I've been working on for a while is this little guy. You can see the size difference. And it was just hard to see my entire face in there, to be honest with you. I found that one at Kohl's, the Glow Tech LED Lighted Edge Vanity Mirror. I purchased it. Most of this stuff is purchased and anything that's gifted is gifted from a friend of mine. But I just have really enjoyed using this mirror and just having more space to see myself. Also, it has capabilities to turn on lights around the edge of it. I haven't started using that yet. I just need to put batteries in it. $100 is a lot of money, but compared to other mirrors that I've seen for $100 or similar expensive mirrors, this one is awesome. And I love that it's a standalone mirror that I can pick up and put down and not have it be on my desk all the time. I like that for me. The next fave, this blue EO5 Sigma brush, which I've raved about in multiple videos, so I'm not going to take too long on it, but it's an eyeliner brush that I use with a lot of eyeshadows. It is the perfect length of bristle, shape of bristle, strength of bristle, the density, I guess. Really, really perfect for making a lot of just cool looking stuff on my eyes, and I like doing that. So absolutely a fave. Next up is this CoverGirl Lid Lockup eyeshadow primer, which is a fave for certain uses. So I have oily eyelids and it's very difficult for me to get matte shades to stay put on my eyelids, especially in my crease. So that is especially what I use this for. It's very tacky. It definitely locks things, hold them in place. I've been able to do eye looks where it's just this and an entire look with matte shadows for the first time in my life since getting this thing. So I'm absolutely loving that. The drawback is that it's not the most blendable, because it's such a strong hold on the shadows, it's kind of hard to blend stuff on there. You just have to be careful exactly where you put it on your eyelid and know that it's gonna hold whatever goes on there. And or you need to put down a base layer of shadow and then whatever you want to blend color wise above that base layer. I think this is going to be one of those things that it depends on your skin type, depends on what you're doing for this to work for you. This works for me. So I'm really happy about that. It's definitely helped my eyeshadow game. I'm using some of it today, for example. Another fave, this is a gift that came from my friend. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the stuff that you sent me. My friend got it in BoxyCharm, I think. Girlactic liquid eyeshadow, and I absolutely love this. This is one of my easy go-to swipe it on and go eyeshadows. Whether there's a lot of primer under it or not, it stays put on my oily eyelids all day. I drink a lot of coffee to make sure that I keep myself going all day. So I need something that can put up with the caffeine sweats. So I love that this does that without me having to use something like this to keep it on there. That's what I find. Oily eyelid gals out there, I find that the more wet the base is of the product that you're using, the more likely it is to stay. That's why like shimmers I feel like stay better on my eyes, because they usually have like a kind of softer, more creamy or wet base to them. And then of course liquid shadows definitely stay on my eyes. Let me know if that's true for you or if that's just me. In a similar vein, I picked up at TJ Maxx some Stila Shade Mystery, what? Liquid eyeshadows. This one is a duochrome, multi-chrome type of deal. I absolutely love this. It's very pretty. I'll swatch it for you. Yeah, it's like a purple to green shift, and I think it's just super pretty. And this is one of those fun things to like put on my eyelid by itself, and it's a little more exciting than maybe like a bronze, because this is kind of a more neutral color. This one does not have the problem that another one of these shades has. I'm going to tell you about that later on. It's in my fail category. I do like this one a lot. Sorry I'm touching my hair so much. I'm just like really, it's wet because I just showered and I'm trying to make sure that it dries without like. Another absolute fave. I might have gotten this at the very end of 2020 or at the beginning of 2021. I don't remember exactly, but this is a Physicians Formula liquid blush. It's the Dewy Blush Elixir. Crushed Berries is the shade. And I know I've talked about this on the channel, so again, I'm not going to go super in-depth with it, but it's a really pretty liquid blush. I had no idea that I was going to like liquid blush until I tried this one. Basically, I need like half a pump. Yeah, like that's like half a pump. I didn't pump it all the way down. Put it between my two fingers, put it on, and then dab it out with this sponge. I have this pink sponge, and now I'm just going to put the product in here because oopsie. But I have this pink sponge that I specifically use just for my blush because you can see it stains. I blend that out, and it's really light, natural looking blush. I just really, really love how that looks. I love this, and this is a great formula, great product. I got it on sale, like on clearance at Walmart for like $2 or $3. So good. Next, I have a couple of highlighters, and I got these 3 highlighters from my friend again. This is the Ciate London Confetti Highlighter. I did not understand what people meant when they said that a highlighter had a glassy shine until I used this highlighter. Today, I have it on my cheekbones, so I hope it's doing the glassy shine, but I just really, really love it. I use this honestly on like a more natural day because it really comes off kind of like clear. On my skin at least, which is perfect on days that I'm going to work. I really like that about this, that it's shine without adding color. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And then my friend also sent me these 2 Ofra highlighters, my first Ofra highlighters. I think she got it in BoxyCharm. This is the shade Blissful. This is the shade Soho, which was created with Talia Mar, or Talia Mar. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. Soho, I definitely like for, again, kind of more everyday use, because it's this like peachy gold color. I showed this recently, I think in the applicators video, which again, super fun to make. I think that it was kind of a weird video topic, so not a lot of people clicked on it immediately, but like go watch it because like it's fun. Just saying. So I showed this in that video. Absolutely love it. My skin has some kind of peachy tones to it sometimes, so especially in the summer, this is one that I love to use. And then today what I'm using is Blissful, this like mauvey pink shade on my brow bone, because the color kind of goes a little bit more with the pinky purpley thing I've got going on here. Why did I do that? I need to bring the highlighter up to my face. Don't bring your face down to the highlighter. YouTuber tips. It's, you know, it's just another like really beautiful shine. There's a reason everybody loves Ofra highlighters, and I just think it's gorgeous. Another favorite, blue light glasses. Guys, if you've not worn blue light glasses, and if you have a desk job, or if you're a content creator, or another reason that you're like looking at a computer a lot all day, you should really consider it. They're not prescription. I got these for cheap on like Amazon. I got a pair for myself and for my boyfriend, and I have to say, When I'm at work, basically I spend all 4 of my 10-hour days working on YouTube stuff or working on stuff with the autism-related nonprofit that I work with. On my computer, getting stuff done, I'm in the zone as much as I can be in between screening people. I used to come home so tired and so stressed out, and after wearing these for a couple of weeks, I realized that it absolutely was because of the blue light, or at least that was a contributor. I absolutely feel such a difference in my stress levels, and my eyes feel so much more relaxed. I think that's what used to give me headaches. My eyes like straining looking at the blue light all day, and then that feeling made me feel very stressed even if the task I was working on wasn't particularly stressful. So small change. This was like $10 or $15, like super affordable, and it makes such a big difference. We're almost done with the faves, but I have to mention the Midas Genesis palette. I got it and I'm using it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The formula is fantastic. The art, the cover art is amazing. Like, so simple, but so beautiful. Oh, by the way, it's Midas Cosmetics in collaboration with Drench Cosmetics. So we have to, you know, both members of the team. I love so much of the message of this palette, of why they made it. I love the color story. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette, which we're going to talk about later on in this list. You'll notice it's not in the favorites. In terms of like the color story, and not exactly in terms of the formula, but still a very good formula. The shades are super pigmented, the mattes are very blendable, the shimmers are beautiful and bright and shiny, and this duochrome here, Daring? Yeah, I love that duochrome. So fun. A lot of times for work in the morning, I'll just grab like one of these shimmers and just slap it on the eyelid. I haven't even really had a chance to play with kind of more creative color story looks from this palette yet because I got it very recently, but I absolutely love it for how I've used it so far. I think it really is made more for darker skin tones. I think that that's awesome. It just means that some of the matte colors are a little bit dark to be transition shades for me, so I need to kind of pair them, like pair this palette with some other palettes that have some lighter crease shades. I don't care because I absolutely love this. And even if this isn't perfect for me, I love the message behind it, so I was happy to spend money and support this. Next up, the Nomad Sydney Bathers Highlight and Bronzer Palette. This again came from my friend who gave it to me for free. Thank you so much. She got it in her BoxyCharm, and I think it's a BoxyCharm exclusive. And it's a very beautiful palette. Like, I have not really tended to have actual like high quality bronzers, so I've been kind of afraid to play with bronzers. But this year I think I'm gonna start actually trying to do that. I like this matte bronzer a lot. I haven't played as much with the other highlighters so much because in the same package that she sent me these, she sent me the Ciate and the Ofra highlighters as well, so I do lean more toward those. Those have more shine, these have more glitter. But I love having this matte bronzer as an option and this shimmery bronzer as an option. I think that this is a really nice, like, soft matte formula. Having not used a lot of bronzers before in my life, keep that in mind when you're assessing. I do really like this. Finally, in my love list, the Eco Tools biodegradable purple sponge that they came out with relatively recently. I love this. I love the idea of this so much. I'm gonna rebuy this forever. I've become more and more so aware of how much waste happens with the makeup industry. Especially, that was one of the points that I made in the video I posted last week about these like little included makeup applicators. Like, if people don't use these, what do you do with these? You throw them in the trash. Why are you including stuff that people aren't gonna use, that you're gonna go to the trouble of manufacturing it, putting the resources into it, putting the money into it, and then it's just going to go in the trash and end up in a landfill? And that's kind of how I feel with sponges. They're short-term products that eventually have to get thrown away, which really sucks. But then you have something like this, which is completely biodegradable, and I think that that's beautiful. It says plant meat on it, so I can get the use that I need out of it for a little while and not feel bad throwing this away or planting it. And I also really love the angles that they included on this sponge. This really works like right under my eye for a perfect like blend in my concealer. I love this. I feel good about using this. I'm gonna keep rebuying it. It's a good quality sponge. It's a good density of sponge. And the packaging that it comes in is, do I have it still? I think I threw it away. So I'll insert a photo of the packaging here if I can find one. The packaging itself, there's one portion of it that is plastic, but the rest of it is completely plantable, biodegradable, and I freaking love that. I don't talk about it too much because it just feels like such a gigantic problem that is impossible to fix. But I get so like deeply bothered when I think about how much throwaway plastic stuff we create and what it's doing to our environment and how much it's gonna impact the next 20 generations on our planet. Like it's already such a heavy impact right now. Anytime I see products like this that are biodegradable and come in biodegradable packaging with minimal plastic, I want to support this stuff. And it's a good sponge. Probably is a little more pricey than some other sponges you could find, but it's for a good reason. It's for a good cause. Let's move on to the fine category, because I feel like I have a decent amount of stuff that falls into that category. First, I'm going to start with these Juvia's Place shade sticks. These are kind of on the cusp between like a favorite and a fine. For the purpose I bought them for, they're fine, but for what they're actually good at, they're a fave. So let me explain what I mean by that. The shade sticks are marketed as being very like multi-use, so I got them to be foundation sticks. First, I bought the shade Lima, which was too light for me, but I really love using this now as a concealer, so I'm happy that I have this. When that came in and it was too light for me, I got these next two shades in the line, which is Barcelona and Luxor. And these are 3 in a row on their lineup of shades. And the problem I'm running into is Barcelona is too yellowy, Luxor is too peachy, so neither of these is really quite right. And as we continue down the line, it just gets too dark for me. So for the purpose of being foundation sticks, it didn't really work out for me. Also because when I did try to work with these and apply them as foundation sticks, I would, put them on and then blend them out with my flat top kabuki brush, kind of standard. And the coverage was just really patchy. I don't know why. Sometimes it looked good, but for the most part it was like patchy, and I would need to do like 2 or 3 coats, and then by the time that I did that, it was like really cakey and just like not quite right, especially because I have oily skin. The formula is funny because it says that it has stuff in it to control oil, but at the same time there's shea butter in there. So I'm like, how is it gonna add shea butter to my face but also control oil? I don't know, I'm confused. Having all those layers on to provide coverage was just like too much for my oily skin. However, if you want to get these for some of the other purposes that they list, like being a contour and a concealer, I think that that is absolutely the best way to use these, and for that purpose they fall into the fave category. So like this Lima that I use for a concealer sometimes, good amount of coverage, because that's the thing, is I think it's good for staying in one place, not necessarily for being spread out all over your skin. Keeping that in mind, I think that you'll have better luck applying it in one place and kind of dabbing it out in just one spot, or like as a contour and targeted application. I think these are great. They have kind of a lot of just fine items. While we're talking about face stuff, let me do some more like just fine stuff. And these are all from e.l.f. The Poreless Putty Primer, which I know is a dupe for the Tarte Silk Canvas. I don't know how I feel about this, which is why it's in like the fine category, because the first couple times I used it, I was absolutely in love with it. But more recently, it hasn't been performing the same way, or else my skin is changing with the seasons or something. Something is happening where this is not having quite the same effect that it used to have. I liked it at one point, but now I don't reach for this the same way that I reach for another pore filling primer that I have. I think I also get a little frustrated with the fact that I cannot just use this. Like, this is pore filling, but it's not oil blocking, which is something that I really need with my combination skin. So I do have to usually pair this with my Smashbox, and it just feels like a lot going on my face before then all of the other stuff that's about to go on my face. And by the way, I've already moisturized my face and like done all of this stuff. It's just like a lot on my face, man. It's hit or miss. There's days this is awesome and there's days it is not. And so that's why it's kind of in the fine category. Also from e.l.f., we have these two little face guys. Not new releases, but new to me. This is in the fine category because basically there's only one shade that I use and I purchased 4, so I don't like this highlighter or concealer shade. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I only use this shade over here as a cream contour. And to me, I think it's a good cream contour. I blend it with my fingers. Good to go. Good shade for me. I don't get why this shade and this shade look so similar. Like, is that just me? Or do they look like the exact same shade twice? These two are also not that far away from this one. Like, I would expect a little bit more variety among the 3 contour shades. It's a fine formula. I only use 1 out of the 4. I wish that I was able to get more use out of these other 3. This e.l.f. powder blush quad, it's like not revolutionary. I use it sometimes to put blush on my face, and there is then blush on my face. I used this one today. It's fine. It's just, you know, it's not rocking my world, but it's there. It does what it is meant to do. Also fine, these 2 Sigma brushes, which I got in the same like haul, and I did a video with a first impression of these 2 brushes with the E05 that I showed you before. So this is the E33 and the E42, and I've recently washed them, which made this one kind of fan out a little bit more. I don't know what I do wrong when I'm washing brushes, or if it's how I dry them or what, but they never really like stay all nice and tight. Let me know about that in the comments below if you have tips. These are definitely good brushes. I like them. They're high quality. They're precise. I think that this one, before I washed it and it got all fanned out, it was too like pointed. So I just like needed to learn how to use it a little more. I wish that I had a brush that was like the combination of these 2 brushes. Like the shape of this one, but the density of this one. But the combination of the 2 is usually good and it works for me. It's just, it's not as much of a like revolutionary favorite for me as the E05 was. Okay, next up, let's do it. Let's get controversial. Let's get trendy. Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette, $129. I think this is a good palette. I think it's beautiful. I just don't think it was worth 129 bucks. I love doing colorful creative makeup, and I can definitely come to this palette and create really beautiful looks. The one that's on my eyes today is all from this. It's not perfect, but it's, you know, fun, and I don't necessarily look super crazy the way that they always look in their advertising for some reason. They just like choose to go with clown looks when they could not. So everybody calls it a clown palette when it doesn't have to be. It's just a nice color story. The shimmers are soft and beautiful. Some of the mattes are really soft and beautiful. Some of the mattes are kind of dry and kind of a pain. And then some of them also have like bases that make them look a little bit gray, which I don't love for a $129 palette. The packaging is beautiful. It has a nice mirror, you know, all of that stuff. I just wish that I hadn't paid $129 for this. As I said in the video where I reviewed this, the formula reminded me of JSC, and to be honest, it still kind of does. It's not like rocking my world, changing my life the way that I feel like it should for $129. It's beautiful, and I like these colors, and I'm glad that I have these colors in a good formula. But I also just think like it could be in the $90, $70 range and be very fairly priced. There's not even any duochromes or triochromes in here. Like, at least put one of those in for 129 bucks. Just saying. Along a similar line, but like not exactly, but the Juvia's Place Magic and Masquerade mini palettes. I got both of these in like a bundle sale that Juvia's Place was having to like get each of these for $9. And can I just say, these are their mini palettes, okay? Like, so much product for like $9 each. This is the mini. I don't even know if I'm gonna get through the mini, let alone the full size. They're good palettes. They're solid. You know, I never find affordable palettes to have bad shimmers. Shimmers are beautiful. The color stories are beautiful in here. I absolutely love this matte here, Casey, which is like a perfect base shade for me. Affordable shimmers never disappoint me. Affordable mattes tend to be a little dry, and this is the problem that I have with ColourPop too. There is a overwhelming number of shimmers in here compared to the mattes. So if you're really looking for a lot of good shimmers, like, go for it. But the mattes are just a little dry for me, unless I'm doing like this Casey and putting it all over my lid as a base, then that's fine if it's a little dry. Same opinions basically also hold up for the Masquerade palette. That was the Magic palette. Color Story is beautiful. I enjoy using these palettes very much. And to be honest, this one has slightly softer mattes than the Magic palette, I feel like. So that's where I'm at with these. Okay, now let's talk about foundation for just a second. Earlier in the year, I got introduced to Tarte Amazonian Clay. This is in the shade 16H Fairlight Honey. As an oily combo girl, I do like this formula. I think I just need to find my correct shade in this. I think this is just a slightly too peachy or like orangey of a shade for me. I just struggle because when I was in the Ulta and the employee was showing this to me, like it looked like the right color. It always looks like the right color. And then all of a sudden I'll go into another room and see myself in a different mirror and be like, oh my God, my face is orange. Ugh, it's a lot of work finding the right foundation. Can I just say? I'm just frustrated by it. But it's not bad. It's not a bad product. So that's why it's in the fine category. Also, like, fine. I have the Rare Beauty Pore Filling Primer that they just came out with, and can I say, that ad where they had like a pumice stone and they put this on the pumice stone and then they put foundation on and they showed the difference, I was like sold. And the only reason this is in like the fine category is because I just got this and I've been playing around with it and I feel like I haven't quite figured it out yet. I don't know if it might be having the same problem as the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, where like it covers the pores, but it doesn't necessarily block the oil. So again, I have to layer it up with this, and it's just a lot of layers of a lot of stuff. You know, let me know in the comments below if I'm just like misunderstanding how that works, and maybe I don't need to double layer. I don't know. I don't feel like this blocks oil by itself as well as the Smashbox. But I do really like it. I like the idea of it. I just need to work with it more. Finally, in the fine category, Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. The internet went wild over this mascara. And here's the thing. It absolutely lengthens for me. It does not lift. My lashes are thick and straight. They need help. And I have an eyelash curler. So I use my curler and I apply this, but I don't feel like this does anything extra to help the lift. And that's really what I'm looking for in a mascara these days, is some way to get these lashes from pointing straight out and just give them a little lift. But I like it for the lengthening effect, so I still use it. But now we're gonna get into stuff that has failed me, that disappointed me, that made me a little bit upset. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not a ton of products in this category because, as you can tell with how big my like fine category is, there's a lot of stuff that I give a lot of time and I give it a lot of chances before I make a final decision on it. However, these are things I'm definitely not gonna rebuy and I'm definitely not gonna promote. Starting with the Benefit They're Real Magnet Mascara. I got this in the mini. The mini is $15. The full price one is like $28 or something like that. I am certain that most of the price goes to this packaging, which, why is this this way? Oh, it's a magnet? Yeah. Why don't you just have it in a normal shaped tube and draw a picture of a magnet on there instead of charging me a ridiculous cost for this teeny tiny mascara because they wanted to have this gigantic cap with a magnet on it. The full price, like the full size thing, should be $15, not the mini. So this is another just like disappointing mascara, and I'm particularly mad about it because of how much it cost. Kind of similar to the Sky High. It made a lot of promises in terms of lift, and I said, wait until you meet my lashes, Benefit. It met my lashes and it said, ha ha ha, just kidding, and it left. I was just very disappointed by this. I always thought that like maybe I just need to invest more in a mascara. If I just put a little more money into it, maybe I'll find the right product for my problematic eyelashes. This isn't it. I don't know what is. If you know, please let me know in the comments below. If you have thick, straight lashes like mine and you know how to give them that lift, please tell me. But I haven't found it yet. And by the way, is it doing it now? No. I have it on my lashes right now just because I was like, oh, maybe let me give it another chance. 1 or 2 days when I wore this to work, when I was still like testing it out, my whole bottom lash line was just like dark, shadowy transfer of this. And pissed me off. I was about to throw this, but there's nowhere I can throw this without crashing into a bunch of my makeup that I do like. I think it was a failure, at least for me, for my lashes. It didn't do what it needed to do. Thank you for lying to me, Benefit. There. Secondly, remember the Stila liquid eyeshadow from earlier? That multi-chrome one, which is still hanging out on my hand. A fave. When I bought that one, I bought its brother, this one here. This is the shade Little White Lies. I don't know what Stila did differently between these two formulas, but here's what I know. Little White Lies. It's like a white to gold shift. I wanted to try it out because I was like, oh, I've never really played with white eyeshadow before. It could be fun. The fallout from this thing. For some reason, this does not have this problem, but Little White Lies here, the fallout from this. I have this one coworker at work who doesn't have a filter. She always lets me know when I'm doing something wrong or just generally that she wouldn't do. And she came in to get screened one day. While I was taking her temperature and stuff, she was like, oh, you look like you have glitter all over your face. And I was like, uh-huh. I'm trying out a new product and it didn't quite go. She was like, it made me think of like my kids when I would do crafting with them and, you know, crafting glitter and doing crafts. And I was like, aha, oh, okay. She didn't know what she was saying and how annoying that can be. She was like, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going places that you didn't want it to go. And I was like, yeah, no, I know it's there. And then she went and she clocked in and she was like, I don't think that I complimented you in the way that I meant to. Ugh, that woman. She's fine. I know that she means the best, but she just annoys me. So for her to comment on the amount of glitter fallout means that there was a very noticeable amount. I had already noticed it and tried to get rid of it, and it wouldn't go anywhere. Then I got a nice little conversation out of it. For that reason, I don't like this shade of this. I like this one, so that makes me think that this is just a generally inconsistent formula. This one did me dirty. So this is definitely a fail. Now I don't know if I can buy any more or not, because I don't know if it's going to be this formula or that formula. I don't know what that was, Stila. Next up in the fail category, and this isn't an entire fail, but again, for the price, this is a fail. This Urban Decay eyeshadow stick in the shade Riveting. Hear me out here. When I see Urban Decay putting out stuff that I think is actually interesting and is actually like, oh, they're paying attention to trends, they're actually doing something that people would want, it looks like something that I can use in my life, just like a quick like swipe it on and get going. I want to support them putting out products that are actually paying attention to what I need. This was like $28. This grown-up crayon was $28. In terms of the formula, like, it's fine. I appreciate the fact that I can put this on top of whatever, like primer or concealer or foundation or even a bare eyelid, and it will show up and it'll be sparkly and it'll be good all day. But for $28, like, I have these liquid eyeshadows just as good that I got for a lot less and that do basically the same thing. And there are a lot of companies, including at least ColourPop, that sell similar eyeshadow stick, crayon, and things for far less than $28. The formula better like blow me away. Like I better look like a bronzed goddess wearing this on my eye. Maybe I just bought the wrong color, and because it's so neutral is why I'm like not impressed by it. And if I had bought like a really like fancy, really out there kind of bold color, maybe I'd be more impressed by the results. But I'm like, it's fine. It does the job, but I'm not blown away by it. And for $28, I should be. So that makes this a fail. And that's a recent release too. All right, we got two more things. One is this e.l.f. Luminous Berry Multi-Stick. I did a video using this and just basically, I think this would work way better if it was a different shape. In that video where I talked about this and really like reviewed it, it was really bad as an eye product because it's just so huge that like putting it on my eyelid was like a disaster. It was so bad. As a cheek product, it was like fine, but I couldn't blend it out the way that I wanted to without removing all the foundation in the process. As a lip product, it was good in that first video. However, I have since gone back to it to try to use it as a lip product and it was not good. It's very unpredictable. it's very inconsistent and I don't like that. And with it being like a multi-use face stick thing, if I can't use it for any of the uses that it said it should be used for, then that makes this a fail. The final fail in my eyes for 2021 so far is not technically a makeup product, but it impacts my makeup products. Aquaphor Lip Repair Immediate Relief Stuff. Listen, this is my second bottle of this. When I used my first bottle of it, I was absolutely in love with it. I don't know if maybe there was just a difference between that bottle of it and this bottle of it. It used to like really, really heal my lips and make them really soft and good. But now, whenever I use this, I feel like there's just been this film of dry lip formed on my lips, and I feel like it has to do with this. Whenever I get frustrated with lip balm, I go back to the Jen Love video about, it's called like why your lip balm sucks or something like that. It's a 2-part video, and in part 2 she goes over like good lip balms and why they're good. This was on there, but it was kind of low on the list. The way that she explained it is that basically this does a good job maintaining the moisture that's in your lip and protecting it and keeping your lip moisturized, but it's not necessarily so good at pulling moisture into your lip and making it more moisturized. So basically what that means is that if my lips are already dry, this is not going to help me that much. That makes sense that that's why there would be that feeling of like a film forming and my lips still being dry. So I'm not using this anymore. I'm not rebuying it. I'm looking for something else. I have a whole skincare haul coming in because I did some like in-depth ingredient analysis searching for some skincare solutions because I have some redness. It might be rosacea. I'm not even sure, but I just have some things on my face that I want to take care of and fix, including a different lip balm. Anyways, those are my favorites and fails for so far in 2021. And to be honest with you, I kind of thought I would have more fails, but I think that because my collection is small and I haven't had the money to spend on 1,000 things to try, I haven't encountered so many fails. I think that having the just fine category was right for me. That's how I feel about a lot of my collection right now, was like, it's fine. Not quite right, but it's not necessarily a bad product. I really, really love all of my favorites though. Let me know if you have thoughts on any and all of these products that I showed you today. Especially let me know if your experience with them was different than mine. And especially like there were a couple of items that I put where they were on the list because of the price point. Do you take the price point into account when you're considering whether a product is like a favorite or a fail of your own? Or do you keep the price out of it? So yeah, just please let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on these products, on this video style, on whatever you think in the comments below. I want to know all of it. I really like talking to you guys. While you're down there commenting, I hope that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, set your notifications to all so you can keep in touch with everything going on here in the neighborhood. I haven't set a subscriber goal in a while. I'm just curious and I want to see how fast I can get to 10,000 subscribers. That's why I haven't set a goal. It's because I have felt like I needed to have a goal of like, this is what I want by the end of 2021. And I was like not sure what number that should be. So this is not going to have a deadline. I just want to see how fast I can get to 10,000 subscribers. Like, help me race to the top because I really want to put out content for you guys that is fun and interesting. I need more subscribers so I can get the support that I need in order to do that. So if you like my content, especially if this is not your first video of mine, I hope that you subscribe. See how fast we can get me to 10,000 subscribers. That's going to make such a big difference and it's going to help me create even better content for the channel. It's also a way for me to kind of like test YouTube, test the algorithm a little bit. I'm very curious to see how it'll go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you and your time and the fact that you are spending your time here with me. I'll probably see you next for Fashion Friday unless I have something fun to share with you on whatever Wednesday. So much love. Bye.